From domestic violence to cancer, entrepreneur Davida Johnson knows all about it. I sit down one-on-one with Davida for a special edition of Quintin's Close-Ups. And be sure to download the free Quintin's Close-Ups app in your Apple or Google Play stores, or listen to this interview later on the free iHeartRadio app. Davida Johnson.
Yes.
It's so good to see you.
Good seeing you too.
I appreciate this.
Yes.
Well, full disclosure, I know your mom very well.
I know.
We love Miss Frankie.
Yes.
And I know that you are an entrepreneur. And you are doing a whole lot of things really to help with issues going on around Charleston that many people know about.
Yes.
Domestic violence and cancer.
Yes.
Tell me, how did you, an entrepreneur, meet those particular issues?
Well, I was actually I was in school. I learned about domestic violence in my undergrad. My major is criminal justice. So we talked about domestic violence, and when I was an officer at Charleston County Sheriff's Office, I worked with inmates who were either victims of domestic violence and also those who were the abusers of domestic violence. So I got both ends. And also when I worked at Victoria's Secret, I worked with some of the customers who had breast cancer. And with them coming in shopping for bras and making them feel good, that kind of gave me some more knowledge on how it feels having that disease, having breast cancer and going through that process.
Wow. And I know recently, this was from June 23rd, you actually attended a Dress for Cure fashion show, which is basically spreading awareness for cancer.
Yes.
Talk to me more about that.
It was actually interesting. They focus on all cancers, not just breast cancer.
Okay.
And they had a lot of food, they had a lot of music, they had even talents like some salsa dancing, they had live performances, and they also talked about the importance of cancer and knowing the signs and trying to get that treatment early so that way, you know, can possibly get treated before it gets worse.
Wow. And also you're extremely busy with this particular event, obviously, is the Women's Empowerment Fashion Show.
Yes.
How did that come about?
Well, I am a hairstylist,
Right.
and so I do a lot of hair. I make a lot of wigs for my clients, and I thought about it. I don't want to be just a hairstylist. I want to get back to the community, and I thought of ways that I can get my business and my story out to people. And I figured a fashion show would be entertaining, but also people can learn from fashion shows from my guest speakers. So that's when I created the Women's Empowerment Fashion Show to raise money and awareness for breast cancer and domestic violence.
Wow.
And I actually reached out to a breast cancer center who gave me basically the runaround on getting a sponsorship with them. Like, I wanted to donate to them for their causes. I went to their office, I sat there, waited about 45 minutes, they told me they'd get back to me, they never got back to me, I called to follow up. No luck. So actually, my nonprofit organization called Dear Deandra Incorporated will be just focusing on domestic violence. I will still have breast cancer models because they are still survivors.
Sure.
I feel like almost every woman has survived from something. It could have been depression, it could have been cancer, domestic violence, but I still want them in my show because they still have a story. And so therefore, even though I don't have a sponsorship or a partnership with the Breast Cancer Center, I still want those models to reach out to me to be in my fashion show.
Sure, that's amazing.
Yes.
And I know that recently you were traveling over to Houston just to advance your skills as a hairstylist.
Yes.
Tell me, what skills have you advanced so far in that field?
Right now, I specialize in wig making, sew-ins, not really natural hairstyles, but really extensions and wigs. I have a lot of clients who go from getting the traditional crochet style to wearing nothing but wigs.
Wow.
And that's why I went to Houston to learn about how to make them look more natural, especially for my cancer clients, because some of them lose their hair and lose their confidence.
Right.
My job as a hairstylist is to put that confidence back into their lives.
Wow.
And so that's why I take a lot of classes and training and traveling, doing everything, so that way I can, you know, tell my clients I've done this. Let's get you in my chair so we can get you looking good.
Wow. And I know your grandma is looking down on all of this.
Yes.
What would she say about you as an entrepreneur?
She would say that she's very proud of me. I actually was I was struggling working full time at the sheriff's office, building my business, being in school, and trying to take care of her. There were times where I had to call out of work. And so So when I turned my 2 weeks in, so I could take care of her, take care of my business.
Sure.
And it just so happened to be that she passed the morning of my last day.
Mm.
So that kind of gave me confirmation that I needed to focus on my business, because when I was going to leave, I was going to focus on her and my business. So when she passed, it gave me more time. I could have just said, you know, I'm going to go back to my job, but she told me, she spoke to me. Sometimes, you know, she visits me, we talk, and I talk to God and everything, and they tell me to focus on my dream, focus on your passion, follow your passion.
Sure.
And I've been attending events. One event from one of my sorority sisters called Falling in Love with Your Passion.
Wow.
It just so happened to be that her event was about a week or two after my grandmother's passing.
Right.
Well, actually, I'm sorry, I think it was a week before, but needless to say, events like that have empowered me to want to build my dream, follow my passion, and help other women.
Wow.
So, but I know my grandmother is really proud of me.
Yes, indeed.
Yes.
Yeah, Frankie talks a lot about her.
Yes.
And let me talk to you about Frankie, which is your mother.
Mhm.
She was a former police officer.
Mhm.
I'm wondering, how did you follow her footsteps as far as criminal justice and recently working at the Charleston County Sheriff's Office?
Well, I've always been very outspoken, and like even in middle school, high school, I always spoke up for others. And so my mom always wanted me to be a lawyer. So with me being in high school, I was doing hair, and she told me like, no, you're not going to be a hairstylist, you're going to be a lawyer. So you need to study criminal justice. When you get out of school, you're going to go be a lawyer. So I kind of dissuaded from being a lawyer.
Mm.
I wanted to work in the field of giving back to the community. So when I graduated, I worked at Victoria's Secret, and I became an officer at the Charleston County Sheriff's Office through her. She kind of motivated me to working there, because she was there first.
Right.
That was her first law enforcement career.
Right.
And then some people were asking me if I was going to follow her footsteps and being a police officer, but no, that's not my passion. My passion is helping women and giving back to the community. And I'm sure police officers have a way of doing that, but
Right.
I'm going to go about it differently.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And obviously, we know that you're an entrepreneur,
Mhm.
you are a community leader, and you're an activist for those who are dealing with domestic violence and those who survive breast cancer and all sorts of cancers. At the end of the day, who is Davida Johnson?
I am an empowered woman. I have a lot of aspirations. I'm a hard worker. I'm dedicated, and I love helping people. I've always been that way. Even in elementary school, when people would make fun of the kids who had mental problems or anything like that, I would be the one to sit with them at lunch. I always talk to them because nobody else did. I like to be on the outside. So that's who I am. I like to be different, help people. And if that makes me stand out, then so be it.
If I were to interview you for Quintin's Close-Ups 6 months from now,
Mhm.
what would you tell me about your life?
I would say business is booming. I'm traveling the world. I'm living my best life. I'm helping women. I'm meeting more people. I've touched many lives, and I've had people come to me and tell me that I've inspired them and that I've helped them and empowered them to leave a domestic violent relationship.
So good to hear.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Davida Johnson, thank you so much for your time. I really, really appreciate this.
Thank you. It was
You're
nice
welcome.
meeting you.
Likewise. Yeah, tell Mom I say hello.
Yes, I definitely will.